Hello everyone, my name is Yulia and today I will be presenting a Google Transport add-on service to an existing Google Map application platform. The job we identify to be unsatisfied at this moment of time is to obtain accurate information in real time about public transportation status. We already enjoy real-time tracking on services such as Uber, Lyft, knowing exact when and where the car will show up. It's unbelievably valuable for consumers. The moment of struggle related to these jobs are you're late to work. You have to look down the street where your bus is. The service outage is not updated anywhere and you have no idea what's going on. And the safety issue while you standing alone at the bus stop and waiting for your vehicle is there too. US public transport used to be the world class up to back mid-90s, but since then it fell behind from the rest of the world. More people to opt in to drive themselves using their own vehicle. There are areas I want to focus on based on moment of struggle. Reliability. Making sure users understand where and then the vehicle will arrive, proper routing or rerouting, choosing the best route based on what's available, safety, reduce time in wait, capacity, knowing how many people on the next vehicle, and this will be increase in demand since the new COVID restriction. Lack of technology. You have to look down the street to check if your vehicle is arriving. For the concept called Google Transport, which is an essential add-on feature to an existing Google Map platform, and is designed exclusively for those with public transportation. It's a fully integrated navigation tool that helps individuals to get from point A to point B using wide variety of public transportation available today. The platform ties the passenger with the intended transport source with a GPS to help solve the moment of struggle. All this under an already existing familiar interface that allows for real-time location tracking with GPS receiver embedded in their smartphones and another receiver installed in an intended transportation source. This allows Google Maps creates a dynamic solution for trip planning which changing in real time and incorporates all unknown information related to traffic congestion, vehicle delays, weather, and even crowd level. This application will provide alternate sources such as Uber and Lyft. And it all comes down to a specific set of circumstances for each individual and what is the most important for them, time, money, safety, or all of that. And lastly, important feature, there is a way to pay for the fare and also the way to verify the payment by scanning unique QR code that show up inside the application. During survey, potential customers were presented three different competing solutions. All of them are the solution for the target job to be done. The result of the survey defined 6 top most important attributes our solution will be based on. Brand liability, the time spent trip planning, the time spent waiting on a transit source, dynamic trip planning and integrated payment system capability, and the last important thing is crowdness. After running a market simulation, it was clear that Google Transport was the best value solution with over 65% responses compared to public transit sources and Apple Maps. Survey was a success for the Google Transit solution, but now we need to find how we generate the demand. First, it's a brand loyalty. Nearly 70% of all smartphones users rely on Google Maps for navigation purpose, mostly with their personal vehicle. It means that 7.7 billion people globally and 3.5 billion of those had smartphones. It's an existing Google Transport penetration rate of 2.45 billion smartphone users that will have that add-on feature delivered directly to their phones with just simple Google Map application updates. Next is value-added integration. Customers need crystal clear based on a survey response. They want the value-added integrated application allow them to maximize convenience and minimize the time spent waiting on traveling. Lastly, switching benefit, switching cost. Good news, Google Maps is free, so the only real cost for the customers is time and effort to learn how easy it is to use. The expectation is minimal, as most smartphone users are already familiar with the nature of Google Map platform. Ecosystem risk. What is ecosystem risk? Particular ecosystem risk comes from dependence on actual resources in the real world. First, risk associated with software development necessary for the Google Transit. Second, it's reliance on a third-party hardware to provide vehicle location and contactless payment system. And a third, it's a public transit entities to provide us a reliable access to data stream we needed. The high-risk items are related to the contact list of remote payment system and the public transit entities conversion and reliability. Internal software development is already squared in Google Warehouse. An add-on of Google Transit to an existing Maps platform should be rapid and simple addition for an experienced development team. Marketing channel to push Google Transit are already established and well developed. We expect to leverage the existing Google Map development and maintenance team. As for the payment map method, Google already processed a lot of transactions every day. It means Google Transport will be another source of the routine transactions. In terms of medium risk, the GPS tracker must be installed and maintained on a transit vehicle, and data transmission must be paid upfront periodically. It should be clear between Google Transit and transportation companies who is paying what share of the cost. More importantly, manufacturers have now maintained the hardware, so we must assume that occasionally we lose data feed from individual vehicle or perhaps the entire transit system. We need to mitigate the risk, but risky and concerning the two-way communication necessary between payment station and Google Pay. A customer must be able to pay or swipe a vehicle pass with a signal going to Google, and Google must respond quickly with the status of the transaction with the signal going to the payment station. Down and payment station either sending or receiving should disable payment capability on a transit vehicle and either stop vehicle from service or stop the revenue collection. Finally, the public transit entities themselves are a large ecosystem. There are about 2,000 entities in the United States, and we have to approach each one separately and form an agreement separately with each one of them. With public support, transit companies is likely spend relatively small amount of money to upgrade usability on their services. However, individual officials or bureaucrats may have a huge amount of power to derail Google Transit adoption if they believe it's not the service they want for their community. Privacy concern on transit vehicle location data, possible cost to the public, and duration of paperwork involved easily will be leveraged to all and hold the entry to the given transit market. Thus, we must tailor our value proposition to individual community, to the individual transit company, and to the individual decision maker with the funding and approval bodies to minimize the risk. Typical cost structure refers to the various types of expenses a business incurs, and it's typically composed of fixed and variable costs. As you can see, most of our costs are variable, and our expenses are composed of research and development, intra-Google data center operation support, real-time data cost, free consulting services provided to transit companies, and sales and marketing. After the first year, we are expected that our cost will be reduced due to no more research and development required. The most basic point about the importance of revenue is that without it, your company cannot earn a profit and stay viable in the long run. In order to justify the fixed and variable expenses, we performed a 5-year revenue analysis. There are about 9.9 million public transit trips a year and about 70% Google Map users. We built our 5-year revenue analysis with the simple assumption of annual ridership growth of 2.5%. As you can see on the chart, within 5 years, the revenue from advertising will grow from 125 million to 3.5 billion. Such big jump in revenue is a sign that service is growing and our stores will be able to generate more sales over the time as the service is promoted to an existing audience. All other sources of revenue will be growing within 5 years as well. A business profit and loss statement shows you how much money your business earned and lost within a period of time. We built a 2-year profit and loss statement with the different scenarios. For our best scenario, we predict that we will target desired market on 100%, and for the worst, it will be only 50% of market penetration. The analysis showed that after 2 years, we will have 22% profit margin or even higher at only 50% expected market penetration. After all research and analysis, we believe that Google Transit is a truly innovative solution and will provide several revenue streams as well as will be a reliable solution for our customers. Thank you for taking time and watch our presentation. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. It was a great pleasure to work with my team for the last 30 weeks, and I hope that the board of directors will consider the opportunity with the Google Transit add-on application. Thank you. Bye.